Okay. There. Oh. Okay. Do I look okay to everybody? Is anyone there? Hello? Welcome to our very first, I'm going to fix this a little bit. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Welcome to our first live crafting corner. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. Hey, I thought, you know what? We should do this. So we're going to try, to work. This is going to be like a little bit of a work in progress. Lighting's a little bit dark, but that's okay. Let's craft. Let's like do stuff together. Hello, Chris. Yay. Thank you for being my friend. You know, your friends have to hang in with you. Like your first day of school, you're just like, oh, okay, you're going to be okay. It's like your first day in kindergarten. And so Chris is, you know, like waving me off saying, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're wearing your favorite sweater. You're going to totally be fine. So let's do this. I want to try to do this like once a week. I'm thinking, let's see how Tuesdays work. Maybe Fridays. Yeah, you know, it's a work in progress, but like, aren't all of our things a work in progress? So welcome to Tuesday. I thought I could kind of, you know, tell me what you guys got going on. Chris, I got you. My friend, I got you. Let me tell you, if you don't know who Chris Acton is, she is an amazing person, and she and I become really good friends. She has this fabulous channel called Acton Weaving, or I think that's right, Acton Weaving. Yeah. Hey, Arrow Lover. Anyways, and so Chris like taught me to fall in love with weaving all over again. Well, kind of maybe for like the first time, because I was a knitter, I was a crocheter. Thank you. You love my sweater? Thank you. I actually made this. This was my loopy mango sweater, and it's the best. It's super warm and fuzzy. It was my Rhinebeck sweater. I'll tell you about that one in a minute, but back to Chris. I have this love-hate relationship with weaving, and Chris helped me to flip the dial over to love. As a matter of fact, she laughs at this. I have 5 looms now. I have a pin loom. I have a little samplet loom. I was the best student. I was tenacious, if nothing else. I have a sample loom, a rigid head loom. I have a floor loom. And once we're done with today, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to make you guys suffer through it. But once this live is done today, this yarn is the stuff I bought from Peru. You guys might have seen this. So I got these colors, and then I'm going to use, this is going to be my warp. This is alpaca, and this is going to be my weft. And I am literally going to take these yarns today, and I'm going to throw them. Yeah, Chris says your looms are multiplying. They are. But I'm going to take all these yarns, and I'm literally going to throw them on my warping board today, like, and just see what colors come up. But that's what I'm going to do. And I know you guys all love it when I throw yarn. So I'm like, these are the colors that I'm using. And I'm literally just going to like throw it on the warping board and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do after we finish today. And of course, you guys are going to see the progress. And then when the warping is done, yeah, I'm super excited about what this is going to look like. I was looking at all these like really intricate patterns, and I thought, yeah. Am I intricate? I am like nothing if not creative and a little quirky and kind of bohemian. So I'm gonna like do it. I'm gonna do my thing. I have equal parts of all these colors, and so I'm just gonna like throw them up there and do that. So that's what's gonna happen today. What else am I working on? I am working on, this is very cool. I'm working on a crocheted, they call it a Ruana, which is like a shruggy kind of a thing. It's from Noro Yarns, this guy. I've been in love with this pattern for donkey's years. And I was like, I wish I had the yarn for it. Well, as it turns out, I went through my Noro yarn stash, and thank you. Bohemian. I think, yeah, I'm a bohemian kind of person, I think. Anyways, oh, thank you, Linda. Hey, Linda. You know, I love pink. Pink is like one of my colors. It just makes me happy. It makes me feel very feminine. I got to tell you about that in a second. Oh, yeah, we're going to be chatting up a storm. I can tell this is going to be so much fun. So, okay, so getting back to this Noro, I loved this. And I thought, I gotta find this yarn. Well, it turns out I went through my Noro stash because we're going to Japan in July, and Noro yarn is from Japan. And I thought, okay, so this is how I see myself. I am the adopted parent, and I want to take this yarn, my adopted child, and I want to create it into something beautiful. And I want to take it back to its mothership, to its homeland, and say, look at this is your baby that I adopted, all grown up. That's how I see it in my head. So I want to do all of my Nora yarns. I want to take them all, finish them, take them all back to Japan when we go there, and then wear the projects. I know, kooky, but if you guys don't know me, kooky. Anyways, so I went into my Noro stash and I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have that exact yarn. And I had 4 balls, which is exactly what it calls for. I was like, dope. That's amazing. So it's not in the right color. It's not the same color, but that's okay. So I'm actually crocheting this Ruana. Thank you. I'm a very good mama. She says, I just want to go back and say, this is your baby. Yeah, you know what, Linda? I'm thinking the same thing. She asked like how much they're going to sell it for. It's so expensive. I know it is expensive. I usually buy it from like Little Knits, and I buy it when it's on sale. So, but anyways, I was so excited because I actually had 4 balls of this, and they're big, gigantic balls. And so this is the Ruana that I'm making. So once I finish my chitter chatter, I'll work a little bit on this guy. And it's so cool. I love how the colors are coming through. And this is just a granny stripe. So simple, but it's got the grays, the purples, and I love purples, and it even has some pinks in here as well. So I'm excited. And I got it on this, and y'all pay attention to this. This guy here, if you don't know what these are, okay, we know what this is, right? This is a yarn ball like holder. This is a mini yarn ball holder that I ordered a long time ago from Lemonwood. And they make these things, all different sizes and whatever. And I was like, you know what? I love these things. And guess what? They're going to send me some of these. And so later on another date, on another time, I get to do a giveaway of these. So that's a little sneak peek. This is just one of the cool, fun things that you get as a sneak peek when you do my lives. But I was so excited. I love these things. And the little handle just kind of hangs around. So like if you're on a plane or a train or something like that, your yarn doesn't go flying down the aisle and you have to have people, like get it for you. So I'm using this guy. I'm going to try this guy out. So I'm working on this. I've almost finished the first triangle. I have like another 2 or 3 rows to go on this guy. So yeah, you've never seen anything like that. I know, right? And these guys, if I can show you the inside of it. So it comes in 2 pieces. Basically, it's got this hook, this strap, and then these are the 2 pieces. These things on the inside, you guys, are the absolute coolest. And the hardest, it goes this way, the hardest thing was trying to pick out the ones that I thought you would like to do a giveaway. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's a ball. These are the mini ball holders. And you just stick your ball right on it so it just doesn't fly away. And it is the coolest thing. Trust me. So, and it just kind of goes like this, and you just like wear it around your wrist. Or you can, hang it onto a chair or whatever else, right? So anyway, so this is my yarn. I think I took all of the rest of it downstairs. So I can't show you the rest, but they're big, squishy, yummy balls of this Noro. So I'm doing this guy here. So I'm working on that. Tell me what you guys are working on, if in fact you are working on anything right now while we're chatting. The other thing I'm working on is, how I just love my knitting. Do they have other sizes? Yeah, they do. They have, that's the mini ball. Then they have the bigger ones. And then they have some kind of a set where you get a couple different pieces. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that we're getting the mini ball winders. I am making, new baby dress, a B-O-D. Friend, what is a BOD? A baby dress. I missed that. The comments are over here, I think. I have my comments coming in over here so I can read the comments, but you're making a baby dress. Good for you. I'm doing my knitting thing, friends. And this was easy. This was knit, but it was large and squishy and fun and simple. This is relatively easy, but it's not large and squishy. It's small. So it's taken a while, but the sleeves are done. It's just a raglan sweater. And I'm working on the body, this guy. So, but the yarn is a Queensland yarn, and it's silk. Oh, bag o' duh, thank you, bag o' day, Crystal's bag o' day baby dress. I knew that. I was like, I recognize that. Why don't I know that? Okay. Anyway, so I'm working on the sweater here. Now, this is something that was interesting. Linda says you're working on a waffle stitch blanket for the hospice agency. Aww, isn't that sweet? Don't you just, doesn't it make you feel good when you're doing, like stuff for other people? Oh, okay. So Chris Acton, I have to just jump on that. She is crafting these herringbone towels. And if they're the ones that she was working on last week, they are this luscious, gorgeous green. And I don't have a lot of green in my stash, but I was totally inspired when I was looking at her. If you don't know, Chris does lives every Thursday at, I think it's 9 a.m. Central Time, because it's like 6 or 7 my time. But you can check her out, and she does the lives, and she was encouraging me, you can do this, you can do this. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do this. But she just sits there and and then she starts doing her weaving, and it's so therapeutic. It's like mesmerizing to watch. But the greens, yeah. Chris says, when the camera's on, it's surprisingly hard to remember words. You know what? Yeah. But unfortunately, I seem to have the terminal gift of gab. So, you know what, y'all? I would be talking like this. Oh, okay. So Chris says it's 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's right. Because I'm usually in bed reading emails and that kind of stuff. But it's seriously, it's super mesmerizing. And she has her little tea, but she's doing these green towels, and they look luscious. And I thought, I don't even know if I have a lot of green in my stash. So I went through my stash, and lo and behold, I not only do I have some green, I have some Noro green, and I have 2 balls. So besides throwing yarn onto the warping board, which is over here, I've got a rigid heddle loom downstairs, which I could bring upstairs at some point. And I have to finish warping it, and I'm using so next week, I will be able to show you this really yummy, hopefully, green Noro. It's going to be like a scarf cowl shrug thing. I'm not sure. I'm going to make the fabric, and then I'm going to figure it out. So, and I'm drinking my Constant Comet tea, or the friendship tea, something like that. It's, oh my gosh, it's so comforting. So I don't know, you all that are back east, I give you permission to laugh at what I'm about to say. We have some weather. Now, I know that y'all just had some Armageddon kind of weather, your Snowageddon. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, well, we had some weather, some storm weather, and they were closing like some of the mountain roads. Y'all, I went to the movies last night with a girlfriend of mine. She was my son's preschool teacher. My son is 29, so he's going to be 30 in a couple months. So we've known each other for donkey's years. And we both graduated from high school like around the same time. And I don't have to tell you how old I am until I tell you what we went to see, and then you'll be like, oh, I get it. We had some weather. So we went to go see, this is the kicker, we went to go see Pretty in Pink last night because it's the 40th anniversary. I'm just going to tell you, I graduated high school in 1985. So watching that movie gave me so many like warm, fuzzy pricklies. I can't even tell you. It was like, oh my gosh. And do you know, I never actually saw the movie. I can't believe out of all the 80s movies, I hadn't seen that one. I was like, wait, does she get the guy? Does he not? And she's like, are you kidding me? You haven't seen this movie? And I was like, okay. So Susan says she graduated in 1982. Okay, so you know. Yes, I know. The 40th anniversary of Pretty in Pink is happening now. As a matter of fact, the 40th anniversary of The Breakfast Club The actual 40th year anniversary of the release was yesterday. So, okay, Linda, there you go, 1980. So you're okay, you guys, oh my God, you guys are all with me. You get me. So I was gonna wear this sweater last night, and then I ended up wearing something else, but with the pink coming through it. Getting back to our weather, we were at a place called Urban Place, and it's yummy food, kind of healthy, whatever. We're sitting there, and I kid you not, the doors blew open, like literally blew open into the restaurant, and the rain was going sideways in the door. It was like I was waiting for the dog and the witch and the house to come flying through. I was like, what is that? And it literally woke us up last night, the wind and the rain and everything. So I'm here to tell you guys, we officially had weather. Now, it's sunny out now, but they said that it could get bad again. I mean, we could get like an eighth of an inch. I know. We could be getting an eighth of an inch of rain. Yeah, I know. I'm just telling you, we are weather weenies. We are weather weenies 100%. I'm going to start doing something. We're weather weenies. But we're supposed to be getting an eighth of an inch. So I got to run out to the store. I got to get myself some toilet paper. I got to get myself some water. All the things. I'm kidding about that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But it was seriously the craziest weather I've ever seen. And then we woke up this morning and okay. So Suzanne, yeah. So she got 3 inches of rain, right? And a friend of mine has a cabin she just bought up in Lake Arrowhead, which it's mountain community north of here. It's probably like 2.5 hours north of San Diego, where I live. Maybe a little bit closer to LA. And there was a dusting of snow yesterday. And she sent me a picture this morning, and it looks like she's probably got like 2 to 3 feet of snow. I was like, what is that stuff? She's like, I think it's snow. I don't know. Weather weenies here, people. Weather weenies. Crazy. Anyways, we hit 60 degrees here outside of Chicago. Oh, hey, it's a heat storm. It's a heat, which is unheard of. Yeah, hello. That's like a heat wave. Okay, Linda says we had a bad snowstorm over 3 weeks ago. Yes, I know. And it turned into ice. It's just starting to melt. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know if y'all know, I used to live in Nashville. I lived there for 12 years. I'm born and raised right here. Probably I live about 7 miles or so from the house that I grew up in. We don't travel very far away. And anyways, but I lived in Nashville for 12 years, and we didn't really get snow, but we would get ice, and that ice was gnarly. We called it black ice. So I am somewhat familiar with weather. I lived there for 12 years. And I'm also somewhat familiar with like cicadas and bugs and nasty old things. Linda says we had a snow. Okay, I got that. This is warm for Chicago. Here in Los Angeles. Oh, right. Okay. I was going to try to get the comments because then they disappear. Let me see if I can get the comments down here. I don't know. This is going to be a work in progress, y'all, but I think it's going swimmingly well already, I think, personally. Let's see if I can find, I know there's a way I can find them, but if I don't get your comments right away, I'll figure it out for the next time. Suzanne says, I have a friend in LA who was just saying how warm it's been. Oh yeah, it was like 80 degrees. It's been like really, really hot. And we were all, and this is our fault because pretty much the masses were like, what do you do with 80-degree weather in January and February? That's just not even right. Well, see what happens when you wish for it? Thank you, Chris. She's like, you're doing great. Thank you, my friend. First day of kindergarten. I get my apple and my milk snack in a few minutes. Yeah, we need the rain. We totally need the rain. Unfortunately, we get the rain, but then because we don't get a lot of it, and we're in a high desert, we then get the mudslides, and that's no bueno. So then we get the secondary stuff, and then it washes away because we don't have all of the tundra, all of the grounds and stuff. The bush, the shrub. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We don't have the shrub to hold it all in place. So That's a little scary. That's a little scary. I will tell you something. I have to tell you guys something kind of cool. I think I'm a little on the fence on this, and you guys go, really? Can you show the blanket? Yeah, I can totally show the blanket behind me. Okay, so hold on. This blanket has a story. This guy here. Let's see if I can pull it all the way up. I'll sit under it. How about that? So this blanket, it was called Blue, BLU something. So it was like a Nordic pattern. And this was the kit. I didn't pick these colors out. You could either do a series of blue colors, or you could do this like day glow neon, like this stuff, fluorescent. And again, you guys know me. I am nothing if I'm not colorful. So which one do you think I chose? Right? Anyways, so it's called Blue something. I'll find it and I'll post it I'll put a post under, I'm trying to put patterns and stuff in there. Anyways, this was a kit that they were selling through Lovecraft Yarns, which I think is out of England, I believe. It was a while ago. And so these are just different squares, and it was sort of like a cowl that came along. Look at, yeah, I know. The colors are insane. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? It is, it's not fluorescent. I mean, it could be fluorescent. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's actually super, super soft. It's an acrylic paint box is the yarns that they used. I think I got them from Lovecrafts. And the kit itself, it might have been like $40 for all these yarns. Crazy. Anyways, I will include the pattern, but it is just a series of different squares and flowers. I started this thing like donkey's years before. And then kind of, it fell to the wayside. And then COVID hit. Right? Everybody is like, what'd you do in your life before COVID? And then what did you do in your life after COVID? So I was working in healthcare as a lactation consultant in a hospital, and COVID hit. And I know it was a crazy steal for the yarn. It's an acrylic, but it was, that's fine. It's whatever. And so I thought, I'm going to pick up this craft and I'm going to teach myself how to crochet. I don't think I actually knew what I was doing when I started this. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I didn't, but each square was a little different. And I thought, you know what? I think this took me maybe like another 2 weeks. I thought, 2 weeks and then COVID will be done and we'll be out of, well, guess what happened? It didn't end. I finished the blanket and then I was like, well, heck, now I know how to crochet. So that was pretty much the beginning of my crocheting journey and kind of my YouTube, sort of. I mean, I wasn't really doing YouTube at the time, but I needed something to distract me from the horror in my regular job, because I was working in a hospital. I was dealing with, moms that were in the ICU and dads who couldn't be there for the birth of their child. So I had to hold babies up to the window so the dads could see it. I mean, it was like stuff that you don't even want to think about. And they didn't all end up happy as they should be. Okay. Oh, there's some comments coming in. Okay. So Linda says, how much was the kit? Honestly, I think it was like $40. It was so cheap. And then I got the pattern. I will include the pattern in my posts. And then there was another comment that came in, and I'm sorry. Somebody said hi and it disappeared. So hi. I wish I could figure out how to get the stuff once it goes away. Oh, well, we'll figure it out. But hi. Oh, our sweet naive selves back then, right? Seriously. Oh, there she is. Renee. Hello. Yeah, we were naive. We were thinking, I mean, who could have thought that something could literally stop the whole world and change the course of our lives and change the course of the world? Like, whose bingo card was that? That was not on my bingo card at all. So I started crocheting and watching reruns of The Golden Girls and Schitt's Creek. That's pretty much what I did. I've never tried paint box yarns. Yeah. Okay. So Linda says it was a good deal. It was a great, great deal. I actually love paint box yarns. They're 100% acrylic. Like I said, they're out of England. They're from a company called Lovecrafts, and but they're really affordable and they're really soft and squishy, and their colors are always this. You know what? Thank you. I'm doing one of these. Right? This is my happy blanket. And I love this corner. I don't sit up here that often because I record over there. You guys can't see it, but I record over there. And by the time I'm done recording, I'm like, and so I leave and I go somewhere else. I should sit here. I got great light. Yeah, and it's this fun, sweet little place, and I get to enjoy this blanket. But yeah, Lovecraft has some really, really great yarns and super fun patterns, and they have, they have name brands, but I think Paintcraft or Paintbox is kind of their house brand or something like that. Who is that? Hello, hi. I am so glad you guys are here. This was such a great idea to do this, and I'm gonna thank Chris Acton, because Chris was like, you can do it, I was like, do I really want to do live? And I was like, yeah, why not? So I'm doing lives, and we're going to continue doing lives. I think Tuesdays work good for me at this time, and if there's another time that works best for you guys, let me know. But it seems like the majority, when I looked to see who was online, it seemed like Tuesdays was kind of the thing. Oh my gosh, 26 minutes has just flown by. That's amazing. I knew I could just talk forever. Okay, Chris says Tuesdays are great. Yeah, I don't think I have a problem talking. That doesn't seem to be my disability. Probably it's not knowing when to shut up. That's probably the other thing that I have to, be, at least that's what the Brit says. He's in the other room. I think he might be watching, maybe. I told him just make sure that, like I'm on camera and I'm doing things right. And, so he's not going to stick around much longer, but that's okay. That's all right. All right. So what else what are you guys working on? Let me know. I'm knitting this, and I said I'm crocheting this guy here, this Ruana pattern, which I'm loving. Maybe it's my superpower. Yes, I think that is fabulous. Everybody should have a superpower. Believe it or not, crafting is probably not my superpower. I would like to think that it is. But I see a superpower as like a gift that just comes naturally to you, that, you're like, and people look to you and go, she's so good at that. I don't know if I'm there. I'd like to think that I am, but I think it's always like a learning process, right? It's something that you just kind of do forever and ever. You're constantly learning and growing and changing. All right, so let me tell you about our other little newsy thing. The Brit and I, we like to travel. That's kind of our thing. Leaning into my superpower. No, that's not being weird at all, Linda. I'm a Virgo. I almost said virgin, and I knew that wasn't true, but I'm a Virgo. Oh, okay. So you are crocheting a cat hat. Okay, is this like the cat hats that people would wear, the pink ones, or like a hat that a cat wears? Okay, inquiring minds want to know. Like, I want to know what that is. Oh, a Gemini. Okay. Yes. Gemini, you're twins, right? Oh, hey. We got another Virgo. Yes. Okay. Yes. It's a cat. It's a hat that a cat wears. A human cat. A human hat. Okay. Got it. I was like, you have a cat that has that kind of patience? Because we don't have any pets anymore, but I don't know any cats that would have that kind of patience. All right. Let me tell you the other fun, exciting thing that we're doing. A friend of ours, very good friend of ours, has had 2 years of like just awful bad. And not to get all in, not to be up, and to be really sharing her business, but she's had some very significant losses. Most recently, she lost her husband about 3 weeks ago, and anyways, to cancer. And she is turning 50 at March 14th. And so she had these plans to travel with her husband, and obviously those things have come to a close, not happening. And so the Brit, who loves to travel and who isn't much of a talker, so when he says something, people tend to listen, he goes, where do you want to travel? And I was like, wait, That's you're opening your mouth and carefully don't insert your foot. Anyways, so that conversation started to ensue, and she was a little undecisive about where she wanted to go. But as it turns out, we are, the three of us, are going to Switzerland in 23 days. We found, now I will tell you, it's a killer deal that we found on a coach tour through Switzerland. And because it's considered a last minute deal, which is not typically how I travel, it was like a killer deal through Costco. We got through Costco. Somebody says, "What are you working on?" I'm knitting the Muppet shawl. What? There's a Muppet shawl? Seriously? I need to see that. I've seen the Muppet sweaters, but I have not seen, if you guys are working on something that sounds really cool, can you post a link in the comments? Because then I'd like to take a look at it and see. Because I did the Muppet amigurumis last year, and someone says I'm making a crochet plaid blanket with 5 colors. Oh, carrying the yarn from behind. I'm tired and hoping to finish it in a week. Oh, start it in January. Ooh. Okay, friend, hang in there. Lean into the whips. Lean into them. I have, most days, I have like 3 whips going on. Most days. Because I have to bring to you at the end of the month all the things that I worked on. And I usually try to have 1 knitting and 1 crocheting done, and 1 weaving, or what I call 1 other. So I'm going to have, my goal today is to get 2 things, 1 thing finished warping, getting onto the loom, and the other one I'm going to start on the warping board and then continue working on these guys. Oh, yes. WIP is a work in progress. Oh, somebody booked a knitting. Oh my gosh, a knitting tour in Scotland. You are speaking my language. You are speaking my language. I went to an amazing yarn store in Edinburgh called the Yarn Cake. If you get to go there, you can pop in and tell her I said hi. But you got like yarn from, sheep are everywhere. Sheep are everywhere. So WIPs are works in progress. FIPs are finished works in progress. UFOs are unfinished objects. You can call unfinished projects. And then there's a bunch of other acronyms, like usually have 3 or 4 projects of both knit and crochet going on, but just working on the plaid blanket exclusively. Nice. Yeah. Okay. So Suzanne, you're my people. You're a bilingual crafter. I'm actually a trilingual crafter now, but most people are either hook or needles. Actually, Chris said that once. She goes, most people are either hooks or needles, 1 or 2 sticks. And so it's not often that you find people that do both. So celebrate that. Yay. And yeah, sometimes you just I have to put everything down and work exclusively on a pattern. By crafty. We are by crafty. Love that. Someone says, I heard someone call it multi-craftual. Oh, I love that. Multi-craftual, bi-crafty, tri-crafty. Well, you know what? I'm just like anything I can do with yarn crafty, pretty much. And I've shown my stash to you guys before. And I really do. I do try to de-stash or to make my stash go away. I do try every year. And I fail miserably usually. I mean, but so I'm just trying this year to get rid of my Noro stash, to turn it into something. So I'm actually weaving with it. I'm crocheting with it. I'm going to knit with it. My goal, because we're going to Japan in July, is to have all of my Noro stash gone so I can buy more when I'm there. The Brit doesn't know that part. I think I'm just relieved perhaps, that Switzerland is not known for yarn. I think they're known for chocolate. Let's see. I just returned from Oregon. So many awesome yarn shops. Yes. I've been to Portland and, oh, actually, no, there's another one just outside of Newport. What was that called? I did a yarn store. I did a yarn review store on that place. Title yarns or something like that. She had some beautiful, all hand dyed, hand spun, expensive stuff, but beautiful. I just love finding yarn stores. That's like my souvenir of choice. It just is. I just love it. Um, and that's where most of my yarn comes from, and I've got little bits of yarn here and there and kind of everywhere. But I am trying to make a goal of at least getting through like all of my Noro yarns, and then getting through a lot of my fingering weights. I'm trying to get through my fingering weights. So, anyways, gosh, you guys, this was fun, and it's 36 minutes. That's crazy. Okay, let's make a plan. We'll end at 45. 45. I think that's, for the first time out, I think that's plenty. Don't you? I think that's good. But we're going to be here every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be sitting here crafting. I might even bring my rigid heddle loom into the picture, or someday I could turn the camera around and show you the backside of the Babe Cave, and I'll be working on Fiona. That's the name of the floor loom. I name my flowers, my plants, my inanimate objects, but Fiona is my floor loom. She's she's actually quite a beauty, I have to say. She's really pretty. All right. So anybody else, what are you working on? What other fun things did we chat about? This is great, you guys. Thank you so much for being on my inaugural live and for being so kind. I was so nervous. Fiona is awesome. Chris knows Fiona. How are the beaches in San Diego? Linda, they are wet. The waves have been, okay, so the waves were supposed to be, I was hearing like 20 to 30 foot. Crazy. And so you get all these, I hope I'm not going to offend anybody by saying this. Oh, okay, so is it Renee? You're in Orange County. Okay, so what are the waves like up there? I don't want to offend anybody, but these surfers, sometimes they're not so smart. They don't take, okay, hold on. I got 3 things going on. Always knitting. I want to see this Muppet wrap. So if you can like post a link to a pattern that you're doing, I want to see this. I want to see this Muppet shawl wrap because I love the Muppets. A huge, huge, huge fan. So the surfers, I love them. They are a breed unto themselves. They will be out there in the rain right now, or even in the waves, surfing. Hey, Deidre, I'm so glad you joined us. We've been on since 10. We're going to be here every Tuesday, and I said I'd be on till 45, so we got 38 minutes. I got like another 6 minutes to go. Snow in Saddleback Mountain. Whoa. Okay, so Saddleback Mountain, that's Orange County. That's not very far away. And she says her pool overflowed. The Lyrical Knits Ravelry is so pretty and fun. Okay. Y'all are just coming up with all these things that I haven't heard of. This is so great. I love this sharing time. Thank you all for being so kind. I was a little nervous about doing a live because I was, mostly like, is it going to work? I was afraid no one was going to show up. I'm going to just be real and honest and candid with you guys. I was like, I'm going to be sitting here all by myself with crickets, just knitting because, but the fact that y'all are here and we're doing this together fills my bucket. You're overflowing my cup. And we got surfers out there right now who are wanting to surf, which, I get that. We're talking about the rains. We're back to the rains really quick. I get that. If you're a surfer, like this is, like amazing stuff for you. But they always say, don't surf in like the first 24 to 48 hours because all the sewage, all the runoff, all that stuff, the muck, the yuck is going into the water. And these guys get sick. Ooh, someone's asking if I was going to be at the yarn show in the spring. I missed that comment. Maybe. I don't know where the yarn show is in San Diego in spring, but I live in San Diego and I should be here in the spring, so count me in. Oh yeah. Oh, yarn shows this spring. I don't know. I love watching them surf. Don't get me wrong. I love watching them surf. I just don't like watching them get like MRSA and strep and systematic poisoning. And they die. They get sick and they die because they're out there swimming in this muck poo water. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. It's runoff and it's the sewage they get very, very sick. So that's when I'm like, come on, guys, like not just a hat rack. Let's use it for something else. Somebody asked where I'm located. So I'm actually in San Diego. I am in kind of central San Diego County, not north, not south. This is the healthcare. Yes, it is. This is the healthcare worker in me coming out. I'm the one down on the beach running out there with Band-Aids going, hey guys, drink your water, please. Watch out for the shark. We get sharks too. Big sharks. Big sharks. Even though I am a Southern California girl through and through, born in Southern California, raised, I don't surf. I tried surfing once when I was in Australia. A friend of mine, her brother-in-law took myself and my son out surfing, and we were on the board. And I don't think it's like that here. I'm 15 minutes from Seaside Park. Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, okay, healthcare. And I was out surfing. I was laying out on the paddleboard. I mean, let's really call it what it was. I never actually even stood up. She asked if I'm close to La Mesa. Not far. Yeah, not far from La Mesa. Probably, I mean, depends on how you go. Half hour, so far, 40 minutes, something like that. But I tried surfing with my son, and we were sitting on the beach, and I was like, yeah, okay, maybe not for me. That was okay. But the guy goes, you know what? He goes, you were in the most shark-infested waters in Australia. I was like, you think you could have led with that? Oh, somebody says they see sharks when they're scuba diving. They never bother us. Yay. Good for you. I am a certified scuba diver. But I have a hard time with my ears equalizing. They really bother me. And so when I find that when we go out in the water, most of the stuff I really want to see and commune with are like, in the 5 to 10 foot range, even like 3 foot range. So I don't necessarily need to go and suffer with the ear problem. Linda says she's petrified of sharks. I know, man, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I know they're supposed to be nice and docile. I snorkeled with reef sharks and stingrays in Tahiti. That was amazing. And they were so cool. It scared the bejesus out of me. Julianne says she'd love to try surfing. Good for you, friend. There's surfing lessons everywhere. I'll sit on the beach and I'll watch from a distance. Sharks scare me. Octopus, I adore octopus. I love all sea creatures. I did snorkel with some reef sharks. I just missed that stitch. And I have to say they were pretty gosh darn awesome. They were amazing. But I don't mind looking at sharks from behind a piece of glass, or like on, oh, okay. Someone says try windsurfing on a lake if you're afraid of sharks. Yeah, that's a good thing. Because I don't think you've got sharks in fresh water. Not that I know of. I'll tell you one thing, and this is a funny little thing because we're just chatting away. My first husband, right? The Brit is my 2.0. He's my upgraded version. He says, I'm so impressed. My ex was from Chicago. And so I went to go visit him, like suburbs of Chicago. And I went to go visit his family and stuff a lot. And we would go to like Michigan. And I could not wrap my head around it because I was like, it's not a lake because you can't see the shore. It's an ocean. It has waves. You're hanging out on the beach. He's like, it's a lake. And I was like, no, it doesn't look like a lake. It looks like an ocean to me because I had never seen anything so big. I'd never been to a lake that you couldn't see like, the shore on the other side. So that's my little experience with Chicago. I did have a couple winters there. It was 0 degrees. I remember that. But I kind of prefer Southern California. Southern California. Fresh water all the way, she says. Yeah, that was a weird thing because, in the beach, you get in the salt water and you got salt water in your eyes and it's burning, and you go into the lake and you're like, why doesn't it burn your eyes? It was a very weird thing for me to wrap my head around. Like, oh, I'm not understanding this. You know, city girl stuff, I guess. SoCal stuff. But there you have it. So, let's see. Let's see. I didn't even notice a crochet until you said that I'm a newbie. I definitely need to be looking at my work. Yes, 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 yes. I'm just knitting now because this is sort of mindless. Okay, so Deidre, I am working on this sweater. It's a pure Soho sweater. It's a raglan. It is like simple, 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 like no spaghetti needed to make this thing. I have finished the sleeves here, and I am now just working on the bodice. Here's going to be the quirky, funny thing. So this is the bodice. And it didn't really dawn on me because, not always just the hat rack. It didn't dawn on me. But the stripes are going to be a lot smaller, on the sweater than they are on the sleeves, because the sleeves are, shorter around. Thank you. Yeah, but the sleeves are matched. As a matter of fact, I think I did a good job of actually getting the yarns to match up. So that's going to be okay. But the sweater itself, the stripes are going to be a lot thinner, a lot smaller, because it goes around more, right? Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you so much for saying that it looks beautiful. So this is my list. I can sit, watch TV, don't even have to look down at my work and see what I'm doing. It's simple. The other thing that I'm working on, as I will wrap this up and finish up with you guys for this week, I am working on this Noro. Let me see if I can find super good pictures. It's just beautiful. Hold on here. Here it is. Okay. This guy. So this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. It's called a Ruana, and it is seriously just a series of triangles, but I love it. And so I didn't have this yarn color in my stash, but I did have the yarn in the stash, which I was like, the kismet, that's amazing. I have it in these purples, and I happen to have 4 balls. Oh man, I love me some Noro yarn. I had 4 balls, which is exactly what the pattern calls for. And I can tell you, I did not buy the yarn for this pattern. I didn't even know. I bought the magazine. I literally bought this magazine for this pattern, and thought, well, someday I will get the yarn. And I didn't realize that I actually have the yarn in my stash. What does that say about me? I have probably too much yarn. Anyways, so this is what I'm making, and it's going to be this really pretty purples, grays, and there's some browns. Just love, gorgeous. So Chris might get to see this in person, hopefully, because we're going to be doing Rhinebeck this year again. I'm so excited. So, oh, Linda, you are so sweet. That she says you're so good at making clothes. Huh? Thank you. That makes me happy because I don't think I do. I think top down raglan is great as a first. Yeah. So top down raglan is great as a first knitting project. 100%. I agree. You don't have to do short rows. You don't have to do anything funky, or it's a great way to start. And they make beautiful sweaters. They don't even look like a beginner's, like a kindergarten or craft project. Some of my stuff do. This actually came from Pure Soho, and they have a really great beginners like program. If you've never knitted before, whatever, they have some really great patterns. Okay, I said I was going to end at 45, and I thought that was going to be stretching it, and it is 49. Okay, y'all, I'm calling it at 50 minutes. This was so much fun. I am so excited. Yay. Okay, so throw down some more comments if you're working on a pattern. I'd love to see the links. I'd love to see what you guys are working on. Actually, go follow the link. And I'm going to be bringing, thank you. I hope you have a great week as well. Yeah. So I'm going to be back here next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join me. Yes. It's so fun to see you too. I'm going to call you Arrow Lover because that works for me. And I'll show you, hopefully I'll have some of these things finished, and then I might even bring my loom up and show you what's going on with there. All right, you guys, you made my day. Thank you all so much. Nice chatting with all of you. Linda, Deidre, Arrow Fun, Chris Acton Creative. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks so much. I don't even know how to turn you off.